I
Ooh,
don't know if our conversation about Young Jedi Adventures is going to go there, but I feel like that is the extent of the coverage of Young Jedi Adventures on TapCaf transmissions.
I've watched maybe 4 episodes, so
You have young children.
that's true.
Did
It's
you watch
true.
it with them or no? I guess I should ask that
Yeah,
too.
I
So
watched it with Graham.
okay.
August does not care.
Yeah, I feel like either of my nephews would be too young or too old for it at this point.
Yeah, yeah, they would
So,
be.
all right. Well,
Bigly.
I got a suggestion to shake things up today.
Okay.
You wanted the intro?
Yeah, sure. Let me know when I'm good.
It's all live. You can do it whenever you want.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Tap Calf Transmissions, the only Star Wars podcast still discussing Star Wars Visions Volume 3. We've got the B team on the introduction today, hence the poor quality. But my name is Justin, joined by my very good friend Corey. And how are you, Mr. Loses?
I'm good. I'm really thinking about the fact that every time you do the introduction, you call me your very good friend. I don't think I've called you my good friend once on this
No.
podcast. We've got to have
Yeah.
like 600 hours of content and zero good friend acknowledgement. So I'm going to say it now. We're good friends.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
How'd
Thank
that
you.
make you feel?
Good. Good. I've been waiting. I didn't want to say anything because it would have been meaningless had
That's
I
true.
brought it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. I mean,
Had to happen.
do you think we've crossed 300 hours or 600 hours? This is episode 229.
Um,
Some of the early ones were like 3 hours long.
Probably
So
not. Oh, probably not.
we're at least at 5 because we got to be close. I wonder if there's like a total
Well, I would just say
playlist.
our
Oh,
app.
that's actually a thing you can do on YouTube. Hold on.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see.
And
I'm
I do want to
gonna say below.
say, while I look this up, I am committing to uploading things week of now rather than waiting until the next episode comes out for the audio version. I've said it before, but this time I mean it.
Yeah, I've been there before. That's why I lost the gig. No, you're doing the same thing.
I don't know. Where do you see the I'm in the analytics. I can see total watch time. There's content. Can you see that where's this? I know this is a thing. I'm not stupid.
You're
Wait,
like
is
on
it
the
a thing?
playlist page, maybe.
Am I making it up?
I don't know. You might be.
I might be making it up.
I don't use YouTube. Once you hit 1 million subscribers, they give you better YouTube. So
Oh. Oh, okay.
yeah,
I don't think that's true.
it is. So
I know you get like a partner person, but
I got a partner way earlier than that, actually.
well,
Yeah.
damn, after on the playlist page, it shows you the demographics, right? So biggest chunk of the audience, 25 to 34 years old, 65%. You get to
Bless 'em.
13 to 17 years old or 45 and over, 0% of the audience on the playlist page. Zero, not one, zero.
They just killed them. They just killed them. You do get killed if you get caught watching the Tap Calf playlist after that point.
All
It's
right.
lights out.
Well, as you announced at the start, we are talking about Star Wars Visions, the final 3 episodes, and the Ninth Jedi. So we've got the Ninth Jedi, Smuggler, Black, and Wings of Redemption X. What is it called?
I don't know. I'm just the Wings of Redemption Star Wars story.
Hold on. Sorry,
I didn't like that one. So
no.
that's like the one where it was like
Birds
the
of
multiple
Paradise,
days, right?
not the Bird of Paradise. Not even close.
No, like not even. Like we gotta psychoanalyze how you got there. In fact, I think.
Birds have wings.
Suppose, but so do like airplanes and birds have other things too. Like anyway,
All right, I'll let you
so we've
pick
got.
which one we start with.
Let's go right into let's do it in order and start with Ninth Jedi. And I don't know about you, but I did rewatch
I did. Yep.
the first part, and after rewatching the first part, I was like, man, I'm really glad I rewatched that because I would have had no idea. And then after watching the second part, I'm like, oh, okay, never mind. Kind of a little self-contained story. It's funny, you watch the first one and it's grand in scope. You got this galactic consequences type event, and then the second one we got a little fight on a derelict ship. So they're changing they changed the stakes quite a bit.
Yeah, but this is part of that search for her dad that they set up in the first one. So it's good to have the character context, know who the Rabbit Man is, standing around. One thing that I do, so that this is the Ninth Jedi. You have your first episode in Vision Season 1. Now you get the follow-up in Vision Season 2. And there's going to be a limited run series next year, like a standalone animated series, the first time they've really done that, for the Ninth Jedi. And the thing that I would like to complain about is that Wikipedia says that it's after 35 ABY because in an interview, someone said that lightsabers hadn't been seen in a long time. Like, okay, and there's lightsabers in Rise of Skywalker. So like, yes, but it's not part of the same continuity. Like nothing in the movies applies here.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that today actually when I was watching the show about because the Star Wars or the Halo wiki tried to deal with this too. One of them when I forget what they were dealing with. Oh, because they had the silver timeline from the TV show, where like the vast majority of stuff is from one timeline, and then it's kind of like Legends and canon, obviously, also on the main Halo Star Wars wiki. They just need to make an Infinities or a non-canon, or even like
they have the non-canon label in it. It's categorized correctly, but on the limited series page for time, it instead of just not having a section there, they put in a section and put in after 35 ABY. Like, no, you should not be allowed to edit the site, whoever put it there. I'm calling you out right now. I could remove it, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, it makes no sense. I fully agree. I noticed that as well, where it's like clearly its own timeline and its own continuity, and that's a good thing. So like, don't try to shove it in there.
Yeah. So what do you think about Ninth Jedi as a series that is getting continued?
Man, I'm cool with it. I like the characters. I like that the so we get what four? We get four characters. We get the girl. I'm bad with names. We get the other one.
Kara,
his name's like
I guess
Kara, and then the guy's name is like Kyle or something. It's not Kyle, but it's like it's like a human name or like an English name rather, like a real world name.
Human name.
And then we've got the what's the guy who runs who brings them there in the first place? He's got like a title. The something.
There is Margrave is the guy, is like the leader guy.
I think they call him the Margrave, don't they? I don't know what a Margrave is. Is like a Margrave?
He's a king of a place.
But is a Margrave like a real term?
I don't think so.
They refer to him as the Margrave.
Yeah, but it's just the name of like the king in that place. Oh no, that was used in the HRE. A Margrave was a hereditary title of some princes in the Holy Roman Empire. So
he's got a cool outfit. And then the last guy is literally just a Pokemon.
Yes.
Like he just oh, that's Entei, okay.
He accidentally turned good at the end of the prior episode, and they're like, hey, this is not very cool of you.
Yeah.
And the other guy's name is Ethan. The one who gets the call in the prior, like in the first episode, and shows up to the meeting. Ethan was barely in this one, but Ethan barely factored into the first one. Like he kind of just shows up as the guy getting the call in the first one. He doesn't kill anyone.
No, he does stand on business, which I appreciate though. Like when the Sith show up, he's ready to go.
Yeah.
which is a good trait. Um, yeah, I like the first one quite a bit. I like the action. I really like the characters. Um, like this one doesn't detract from that. It just didn't really increase my excitement any.
Mhm.
Um, because I think people were so interested in more Ninth Jedi just because the world is interesting. Where it's I don't even really know what it is because I guess there's been many there's no Jedi left stories. What do you think it is that made people so attracted to Ninth Jedi?
I think part of it has to be that they subverted some expectations in the first one, where you have the guy show up with the red eyes, then all those nice looking Jedi are like, I'm an evil guy, and then attack. Uh,
Yeah,
and I
for
feel
sure.
like that stands out a little bit more from the other Vision stuff, which is so like you see what you get, kind of like the
Yeah.
Tector Star Destroyer,
Yeah.
where you do see what you get. And I feel like they kind of moved away from that here, where every time you saw like red photoreceptors and everything in this one, those were the bad guys.
Yeah.
So the and it was one of the better lightsaber battles that we've gotten. Like you can always tell what's going on, which
Yeah.
is more than you can say for some of them. Uh, like it,
The girl was a very fun character. She like just the way she moved and fought was cool. I enjoy that.
yeah, and it is one of the ones that avoids the whole like we're retelling a thing that you've already seen in the other movies kind of thing, because like
Mhm.
we're going to talk about another one, Smuggler, which is basically just a slightly more in-depth escape from Tatooine, where it's like beat for beat kind of the same deal, only you've
I
mashed
did
up
like
Luke and
that one. I
Leia.
don't know why, but yeah.
You did like that one?
I did like that
Yeah,
one, yeah.
I mean I enjoyed it as well, just like I don't need more. I feel like the ones that are doing an adaptation, like I think that's both valid and not something that's a foundation for more stories.
Mhm. Yeah. I yeah, uh, so what do you think? I definitely didn't hear as much feedback after this one came out, which makes sense because I mean, for one, we already know it's coming, so fair enough. But it is also a smaller story. It's they did have some balls. They killed off the cute little robot though,
Yeah,
which
you don't
was
see that too
interesting.
often. That's
No, the robot just straight up died.
and that kind of makes me a bit more excited for the show, because it seems like they are willing to take some risks that you wouldn't normally see.
Yeah.
In the same way that they were willing to play with the whole like red eyes don't mean bad guys all the time last time.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, and even if they were like intentionally doing that to fuck with you last time, I think it still
Yeah.
worked. And I think like I liked Tito. Uh,
Yeah.
I I was sad
Totally.
when he exploded. I kept thinking like, oh,
Yeah.
he's gonna get dragged out by the charging cord, but no,
Yeah.
he blew
Nope.
himself. He's like,
Bro just straight up died.
yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
But we have so this is like you were saying a lot more self-contained. We're seeing Kara get left behind by the group as they have forgotten that she left the ship. They jump to hyperspace. She's left behind in her little spacesuit. She gets pulled onto the derelict ship that Tito's on with his master for like 200 years at least.
Hmm.
Uh, and
Yeah. He's been dead.
yeah, like they're what Tito, the little droid, has been doing is he's been waiting for someone to show up so that he can clear out a statue that fell and blocked access to a room where his master has been in a bacta tank recovering until someone can come and like move that so we can see his master again and maybe cure him. And they get in. Kara moves the thing. They get into the room and she's like, "Yeah, man,
It's a goddamn
man's
mistake.
been dead."
Yeah. I've been reading, or I read earlier this year Project Hail Mary, and there's a moment like that, kind of in that novel too, where they reveal that the people have been waiting for a long time doing basically nothing. It's like, what's going on here? Get it
Mhm.
together, boys. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who's not read it, but
Well, what is there? There were other droids before, so
mm,
they're all dead now. And None of them working
No,
together could have moved the statue.
no blue collar droids. Like
Wow.
no droids who played sports in high school.
Load lifters.
Yeah, yeah,
This is a failure of logistics.
it is. Yeah, absolutely. Um, the design of the ship was really cool, though.
Yeah, other than the fact that it looks like a very like Blender PBR material applied to the ships, I thought like the Sithy Hammerhead one or the Bandit ship looked really cool.
Yeah, I
I
like that one
didn't
too.
like Margrave Juro's Star Destroyer design at the end of the first one. I thought that looked a little
Yeah,
strange, but I really like the Bandit ship.
yeah, yeah. Me too. So any other thoughts on? I mean, I don't really have a whole lot to say about Ninth Jedi Part Two. It was good. Like it didn't. I'd say it sparked some joy. I liked it. I'm not gonna be thinking about it a long time though, or anything like that. It was one of the middle of the road episodes. I think
I I think it
of
kind of
the.
sets them up to hit the road running in the
Mhm.
start of the next one because you've kind of got this interstitial story about the middle of their journey trying to find her dad, and you really cover a lot of her like self-doubt and need for growth. So I think you can kind of go into the the series and have them on a bit more of an established footing while still getting something in there about her being more inexperienced. Maybe we'll see the rabbit do something useful, and maybe even Ethan can do something useful.
Yeah, part of the like main hurdle in a lot of these stories is getting that main premise right, because like, or not even right, but whether like the watcher will like the main premise. Like silly band short, probably not. I'm probably not going to enjoy that as much, but a lot of people will. Obviously, the Ninth Jedi has resonated with many people, so they got the hard part out of the way. And the animation style, I thought the animation also improved,
Mhm.
especially watching them back to back. I definitely noticed that because I did think the first one was, and it wasn't ugly, but it wasn't. It was like one of the worst looking ones. I thought not a whole lot of visual flair to it.
I will say that aside from like there being a major response to the first one,
Hmm.
this animation style seems like one of the most affordable to turn into a longer series.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Like compared to if you're going to do that with Ronin or Black, that we'll talk about soon.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so after that, I think the next one was, so we did, is it the Lost one? Oh no, that
It's
was
Smuggler
was
is the next one.
Smuggler. Right. So as you kind of alluded to, Smuggler is basically another reimagining of the something from the original trilogy. This time it's the smuggling of the princess, or not the princess, sorry, the smuggling of Obi-Wan and Luke off Tatooine. This time, however, the smuggler is a young woman. The Obi-Wan character is an older woman, and the princess, instead of being on a Death Star, is a prince who actually just joins them on the way out. Uh, and then they end up together at Yavin, their version of Yavin, which it might have even been Yavin, I don't know. But I actually really liked this one. I really liked all the characters. The old Jedi woman I thought was really great. She's got like a fake arm she hides her lightsaber in. That's a ton of fun. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I thought it did kind of Imperial occupied planet really well. Also with the prince, he is Leia like in that he's seemingly really well loved, but we don't actually see Leia as a princess like ever. Here he leaves and the planet is never actually destroyed or anything. It's just kind of under siege. So I really like this one. I thought they were hinting at maybe doing a follow up to this one as well, because they definitely leave it on a bit of a cliffhanger.
I think this is my favorite of the kind of reimagining a thing that happened in the movies genre. But I feel like, well, it leaves it open. It leaves it open in kind of the same way that if you cut the scene, or if you cut A New Hope before the Death Star attack, that it would leave it open for a sequel. Like we kind of know what the
Oh,
sequel
where
is
it's going,
here.
yeah.
So I don't know that I would expect them to kind of go back to this one. Like
Hmm.
the combination of Luke and Leia, uh, removes you having to rescue Leia from somewhere else. Like you have the rescue
Yeah.
coming from Tatooine. So I think it's an interesting way to handle it there. And I will embarrassingly admit to being like 5% surprised that the old lady turned out to be a Jedi somehow. I don't know why.
Fair enough. I think I saw the writing on the wall pretty early, but
Yeah. I don't know
you
why
know,
I was like, oh wait, she's a Jedi, because like I knew what they were doing. I've seen episode 4. I know who Obi-Wan is. Like I was like, oh, she's a Jedi. And there was the scene early on where they were like, wouldn't it be great if there was a Jedi? And she's like, no, Jedi are dead. It's too bad. Shut up. But
I did think
they
it was
got me. They
funny
got my
how
ass.
like because we get a lot of like direct like alt. This really is an alt universe. Everything is switched. I thought it was funny how her co-pilot was a Rhodian when
Yeah.
obviously Han, like the girl, is basically the Han. She's kind of a mix of Han and Luke, really. Um, but because there's not it's not really a like direct one-to-one comparison, but it is very close.
Yeah.
Um, with yeah,
Neither of them
I
was as annoying as Luke is on his own, which I think really
yeah,
helps move things along.
that
You
does
have a
help.
bit of that naivete split between uh, the Han and Leia characters, and then
Hmm.
every you don't have to deal with Luke himself.
Yeah, I do think she kind of has a bit more of the like hero like she is kind of the hero too, and I think maybe there's some hints at her even being force sensitive, like
Hmm.
when she's flying she has one of those Clone Wars bounty hunting ships that we always see. Um, do you know what model it is she was flying? It's one that you always see like in the Clone Wars in background as like bad guy ships or
Uh,
smuggler ships or whatever. Um, but yeah, at the end she's escaping missiles and stuff, and um, definitely I think a little hint that she's it's an Aurora class freighter. That's what it is.
hmm.
It's like the Zygerian slave ships. Yeah, you always see the Zygerian slavers flying them. It's not quite the Houndstooth. It's close to the Houndstooth, which I assume is also a YV ship. But
Yeah. Well, you get to it is different in that like you're on the planet. I think that the prince is princely related to because everyone knows
yeah,
him, everyone loves him, and he does want to stick around and make sure they don't just abandon everyone to the Empire. So get some points for that. But
as if
they,
anyone cared about Tatooine.
yeah, like plot wise, it is like you kind of you've seen episode 4, you know what's happening there. That poor Rodian though,
Yeah,
everyone's gonna think they're a coward. He was just saying he had to go to the bathroom, and then she forgot him.
yeah, just racism once again rearing its ugly head.
Okay, we'll have to call Rhodians ugly heads.
I mean, objectively, they look like houseflies. So,
Some people like that proboscis action.
yeah, when you need the dent suction cupped out of your car, you'll be changing your tune.
You get some soap scum on your sink. Who are you gonna call?
But yeah, I really like this one. I don't even know in particular what it was. I found it quite charming. The animation was good. I thought the action was good. I don't know. I thought it was obvious, especially as it went on, that okay they are just remixing A New Hope. But I thought the alternate universe stuff was also pretty clever.
Yeah,
Like it was a fun remix on the story. So I really found myself enjoying this one as I was watching it.
yeah. I like all the changes they made. I enjoy the animation style. I think what I've learned going through Visions is that the simpler and cleaner the animation style, the more I kind of like it. Which maybe we'll
So
get to
well,
my thinking on something else later. But yeah, good stuff.
good
But yeah,
stuff. Okay,
very. I
that
don't
was another
know
Studio Trigger one, by the way.
what's that.
That was another Studio Trigger one.
Right.
So they
Yes.
did the Twins and
Yeah.
I think the Elder, which it was a good one. I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, the twins, the elder, and the smuggler. They're really big on the thes.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on this one?
The episode was adapted in a manga published by Square Enix for the
The
elder.
smuggler was?
For the elder. I didn't know.
Oh yeah, I remember that happening.
I don't know. I think the smuggler is my favorite of their three.
Okay.
Like twins was good. I don't think I
Mhm.
remember much about the elder.
That was the one where there was like
Oh yes, I do.
it
Yes, I
was
do.
like a
Never mind.
young Jedi and an old. There was
Yeah,
like two Jedi and yeah.
I was looking at the promo image on Wikipedia, but then I scrolled down and saw the old guy's face. I was like, oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I know this man.
Yeah.
I've seen this man before.
Yeah, there are a few other small details I liked about the smuggler. I like the robot at the beginning. It reminded me of the beginning of Dark Forces 2 when Kyle gets his dad's data thing stolen from him. Do you remember that on Nar Shaddaa?
Mm-hmm.
He's got to track him down. I like that. And I also there was a cool scene at the end where she's trying to get out of like the alt universe Tatooine, and she hyperspace jumps at the last second right before the Star Destroyer can cross in front of her. I thought that was really cool.
Fun visual moments. I think the lightsaber looked cool in the smoke and everything.
The prince was very much like an anime character.
Yes. Well, they were all anime characters.
Yeah,
This
but
was
he was
anime.
like, yeah, I was like, he could have been like from Attack on Titan or something. But yeah, overall, that one was really great. I thought, yeah, I could have watched, I could have watched the whole movie redone
Yeah,
in that style. I would have been happy to.
could have been fun, but they didn't do that, and I don't think they will do that.
Okay, so next up we have what was my, I think maybe least favorite short of the season, The Bird of Paradise. Do you want to explain this one, Corey?
Yeah. So, The Bird of Paradise by Polygon Pictures. It tells the story of a girl who was fighting a Sith, Sith Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
She gets her eyes slashed and ends up falling into a ravine. Essentially, loses her sight and goes on a spiritual journey uh, to get away from her immaturity and her selfishness. With a bunch of what I felt were kind of unnecessary interstitial titles. With day
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
day two, I felt like I was watching Majora's Mask. And it was at least my least favorite of the ones we watched for this podcast, but I don't think I still enjoyed it. I think I liked
I
it
feel
more
like
than you
yeah.
did.
Yeah, it's
But
you know, I'm also not going to say this is bad because I think they were definitely like the studio was definitely you know, pulling from something that I don't quite appreciate, like some type of storytelling. Um, and yeah, like it wasn't bad. I agree that the titles were unnecessary. The idea I thought was really interesting. The slashed eyes and the going on a spirit quest to come to terms with your fear and all of that. But I just really didn't like the main character very much. Um, I liked how the Force was often portrayed as like, you know, it was like the one thing she could see as when she was blind, and it was
mhm.
often these like swirling pattern. I thought that was pretty cool. It reminded me a bit of the first High Republic book when they talk about how everyone sees the Force differently. But other than that, it didn't really work for me, I guess.
Yeah, like the journey of we're all part of each other, or they were like the both sides of her are part of her, and she's not just gonna immediately die. Very upset to be blind. Like I think the thing that would have made it work a bit better for me would be if when Nakame gets out at the end and
Mm-hmm.
gets to the valley, what if she was still blind? What if she learned to trust in the Force more and was like a Kanan style situation?
Mm-hmm.
And I like we've done the whole Jedi becomes blind, but it's okay because they can use the Force and they can see just as well as anything else,
Yeah.
which kind of makes them less blind. But I still think like contextually in the story that would have been maybe better than having her turn out to be entirely okay, eye wise.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'd say this one also had maybe objectively some of the more impressive animation as well. Especially the scenes. It wasn't really my favorite style. I didn't like the design of the girl necessarily, but the scenes where like she's conversing with the Force, and when she's in the forest were all really cool, I thought.
Yeah, and like the Sith being part of her was also like the way that
Yeah.
was handled was
Yeah.
fun.
I just don't like the I don't like anime very much, so I don't like screaming Harley Quinn anime girl like as a I don't know, it takes me out of it a bit, I guess.
Yeah.
So that kind of hurt that for me a bit, but that was more at the beginning.
Yeah. Well, is Amon dead?
She could be.
Or is she like maybe she was right to be that afraid if she was actually dead.
Yeah.
Or is she just an internal demon? I don't know.
I mean, she could have just been reborn as well.
Like a Digimon?
Yeah. It does have a Digimon look to it at times. Like
Okay,
all
so
the things
Leomon is
coming.
raising Amon as a new baby Digimon somewhere else and not gonna make it
Yeah.
to be alive.
Yeah.
Like when
Yeah,
Angemon disintegrates after they fight Myotismon or Devimon?
exactly.
I
I'm
forget.
gonna yeah, defer to you on that one. You're the Digimon lore expert, not me. She
Well,
does have her eyes. Her eyes are caught at the end, and they do seem to restore themselves. So I
yeah,
I I, I think it actually happened.
there you go. And then Amon's just dead. That's all
Yep.
there is to it, I guess.
Yep.
Right. Well, that is Bird of Paradise. The Bird of Paradise.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That
hold
leaves.
on. That because isn't the Harley Quinn movie Birds of Prey?
Yeah.
So now that all makes sense. So there's Bird of Paradise and Birds of Prey, and they
Mm-hmm.
both have Harley Quinn in them. But this is like Oni Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
That brings us to our fourth and final short of the night,
The
Black.
shortest one, also.
The shortest. All of these were much shorter than the ones last week or 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but this is possibly the most visually interesting, the most visually off-putting, and the trippiest. Definitely the trippiest of
Yeah.
any of them. We have Black, which is kind of like
Yeah.
the thoughts of a stormtrooper kind of reliving his life as he explodes on the Death Star or on Hoth or in like various situations.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's what did you
I,
think of
lo-
this one?
I love this one. I thought this was excellent. It's kind of what I hoped for when they made Star Wars Visions. I wanted more of this, where this to me is the one that felt most like someone was trying to make a genuine piece of art that just happened to be Star Wars. I really like this is not one that you can watch while playing Candy Crush on your phone. If you want to get anything out of it, it is very tightly edited with music. It is obviously also very symbolic when he's he starts off fighting himself, and I don't think I necessarily understand what all the symbology means, other than he's coming to terms with all the trauma he suffered before he dies.
And
But
inflicted.
some of the scenes are so cool. Like there's even some really cool traditional Star Wars scenes. Like there's one. I'm just like scrolling through it now, and one of my favorites is like 2 minutes in where they're fighting on what looks like the Death Star or something, just stormtroopers versus rebels, and there's a Star Destroyer crashing in the background. It really is super impressive. I also like the scene of him. He's on the lake shore or whatever, relaxing. We never get a good look at his face, and then back into the just brutal like hand to hand combat, bloodied up, fighting himself half the time. Just you know, I really like this one. This was maybe one of my favorite shorts, I think, in general, and the the like definitely one for animation fans as well. Like the I've never seen the destruction of the Death Star quite like it's done here, where it cracks down the middle, like almost like it was cut in half by a samurai sword, and
Mm-hmm.
then just kind of falls apart and bleeds. Um, but yeah, if you're wanting a straight story, I don't think you're gonna
Not
find
here.
it here. But I enjoyed it. What about you?
Yeah, I liked it, but I mean, generally, the kind of trippy art style isn't something that appeals to me just inherently. And
Hmm.
there's a lot of stuff with like the scenes coming together to form a bloodshot eye,
Hmm.
which I don't like eye stuff.
Oh
So
yeah,
I don't know, that just always kind of skews me out. So
this was pretty scary. I wouldn't want let. I don't know. I mean, I think August can handle this, but it's pretty it's pretty scary, especially the eye stuff. Like you feel the guy's panic as he's
yeah,
like in these war scenes. Anyway, sorry, continue. I didn't mean
there's
to.
a lot of existential angst and dread going on. Like I
Yeah.
think it's it's got a lot of interesting stuff going on. Uh, but for me, it's a little bit held back by just the art style not being something that I'm typically as into.
That's fair.
Like it's definitely very impressive. Like it's definitely very well done. But for my undeveloped sensibilities, it's just not something that is like it's tickling my pleasure centers the same way that I think for it does for some people.
Mhm. It really reminded me of like a Pink Floyd music video.
Yeah, I can see
um,
that.
uh, yeah, I can totally get that. Where especially when you have something like this, where it's I'm not gonna say the story is incomprehensible because obviously you can watch it, you understand. I think anybody will watch it and understand generally what it means. But it's not like what's going on in a scene to scene moment isn't clear. And like, oh, why is this one armed trooper fighting another one armed trooper? And there's no clear answer to that. Like someone in the chat says Alex thought it was a different one. I would agree that it's probably meant to be him
Hmm.
fighting himself. But when you mix that with an art style, which often is kind of also incomprehensible, where it is like it's a lot of the time it looks like it's like crayon drawings or yeah, I liked it because like I liked the art. I understand what you're saying. I liked the art style because I felt like it kind of was appropriate for his mind kind of coming
Yeah,
apart. But
like it's basically the firing, like a representation of the random firing of synapses with
yeah,
life experience as you're dying, essentially. Which like I think it does what at least it accomplishes what I think it is trying to represent very well. But there's too many bloodshot eyes for me to want to look at the screen
that's
as
the
much.
answer.
And like the scene where it's like looking up from them and they got like the blood all over their teeth and everything. So I know that
Yeah.
this is supposed to be an artistic moment for everyone, but all I could think of is Charlie sending us a picture of like POV him going pee or something.
the uh the ending was really cool as well.
Hmm.
You you talk about this the synapses like at the end it shows him on Hoth. He's frozen. His arm is sticking out. The Death Star's there too for some reason. Maybe it's not Hoth, but you literally see like his brain activity stop.
Yeah.
Which I thought I there's a lot when I was watching this. I was like, damn, I've never seen something like that
Yeah.
before in a Star Wars short. And then yeah, then we get a weird like 1960s style shot of the trooper's face. Looks like it could be from some German short film or something. But um, yeah, it definitely. I, I I definitely wouldn't recommend this to everybody, and I can understand why some people would either not love it or kind of be like it but not be fully in love with it. But for me, hopefully I'd like to see more experimental stuff like this at the
Yeah.
very least because like to me this is what separates. Maybe this is somewhat pretentious, but to me this is like stuff like this is kind of what separates Star Wars from like Marvel. Um, and yeah.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
I was kind of curious what people would think of this one after I watch it because Mr. Puerto Rican, one of the TR devs, messaged me asking if I'd seen it last before we started the last episode, and I said I'm waiting until this week to watch it
Mm-hmm.
because we'd be talking about it on TapCaf this week. So I
Yeah.
knew it was something that he really liked, and he's like a big anime guy. He's a big Gundam fan. So I
Charlie really
also
likes
went and
it too.
looked at like some Reddit comments and looked up some other discussions, and uh, the people who didn't like it did seem to be generally still in favor of it, of like
Yeah.
this wasn't for me style criticism,
Mhm.
which I think is the right way to criticize it. I don't think anyone should be calling it bad because I don't think it's bad. Uh, but there was an annoying like counter to that of like, oh, if you don't like this, you're stupid. Okay,
Yeah.
are we doing the fucking? This is the thing that like I love Andor, but the Andor
Yeah.
fandom could really
Exactly.
be just fucking. I guess you don't like paying attention to things, and you don't like real art. It's like, oh, can we just not do that?
Yeah. Yeah. That's especially, a lot of, yeah, I mean, it's for the art style specifically is, it's not always pleasant to look at. So like I can fully understand why someone like those shots up close to the guy's face are like
Hmm.
they're like pretty grotesque,
Yeah.
especially with like one of the early shots, especially with the eye afterwards flailing around and
No, don't.
you know, you kind of got to understand or accept also that like some people don't like watching something and being like, what the fuck am I watching? And like, even if you understand what happened afterwards, when you're watching the first time, you're like, this is almost incomprehensible at certain parts.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I can fully understand why some people wouldn't like it. And I hate that too. I hate that with Andor. Like the idea that not even like that people who don't like it are dumb, which, maybe I do agree with that for Andor. No, I'm joking. But like the idea that like if you like something as much as Andor, then you're stupid, or like that this work is inherently lesser. That is really frustrating. Like I feel like most people learn to not be like that in like grade 6. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's. I mean, that's just part of existing on the internet. But
Yeah,
you know,
it is nice, you know, when Disney is talking about putting like AI generated shorts on Disney Plus, you see something like this and you're just like it or hate it, they made it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like a robot couldn't have made this. And like that's kind of the thing too. Like that's part of the reason why saying if you don't like this you're stupid is so dumb. Like part of the great thing about something like this is that it is somebody's vision and it is like exactly what they want to do and that's not going to work for everyone. So like to say everyone should have to like it is also kind of missing the point. Like I think movies that like this was a big discussion when The Last Jedi came out where like Ryan Johnson said he wants to make movies that, not everyone he didn't really quite say, but he said that not everyone will like, and like that should be the point because if you're talking a movie that just exists to please people or that was designed to,
yeah,
hit the fandom brain, like it's just not as interesting.
yeah. I've always wanted to do a video talking about like people misunderstanding Ryan Johnson and everything he says, because I very much agree with his point about like basically how art should work and how
Yeah.
movies should exist. And it feels like it's just always taken in the most bad faith way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Agreed.
think you have to like The Last Jedi or anything that he has done to understand what he is saying, and that people will like take that and run as far away from the point with it as possible.
Yeah, it was just a lot of bad faith where he was basically just talking. And I actually think that that quote really pre-existed. I think that pre-existed him working on Star Wars by like a
Yeah.
decade. He was just
I mean,
basically
even the
saying,
new
I
one
want to
he
make,
said like a few weeks
yeah,
ago.
like if you don't, if you're gonna make something that people are not gonna like what you have to say, like even
Mhm.
if, but if you're saying it, it's interesting, especially with art. And that's like, you can AI generate, your perfect Star Wars thing, and instead of having the next Star Wars Visions could be us just using AI prompts to make exactly the story we want. And like, no, that fucking sucks.
Yeah. You're that Bob Iger? Shut the fuck up with your AI generated, user generated fucking short content on Disney Plus. Get out of here with that.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. All right, I'm gonna do something we haven't done in a while here on TapCaf because it's a shorter episode. Okay. I have opened TapCaf.
Oh, I thought it'd be fun if we ranked them first before we do that.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Of just the 4 we watched today?
I think we should do all of them.
Okay. I'll have to open up the list of them and see if it changes with the ranking we did last week.
Did we rank them last week? Fuck, I don't even remember.
We did. No, well, not last week, but yeah.
Actually, I do remember some of them. Okay. So my favorite, I'm just gonna rip through it. I'm not gonna say that this is perfect, but it's. So my favorite was Black. My second favorite was probably The Duel. My third favorite was probably. Oh, I forget what was the one that I really liked last time. That we both really liked.
Was it The Lost Ones?
Yeah, it was The Lost Ones. No, it wasn't The Lost Ones. It was. Fuck, I can't remember.
Song of Four Wings. The girl,
was it?
Like the young girl, the treasure with the bear, the bounty hunter one with Ronnie Chang.
Oh yeah, I think it was the Song of Four Wings. That would be 3, and then I would probably do. Then I would probably do Yuko's Treasure, which I was going to talk about that more this time. I don't think I really need to, but I did rewatch it. I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Then maybe. I guess The Smuggler, and then the rest are kind of just near the bottom. They're all good. I actually liked all of them. There's none that I fully disliked this time.
Yeah. I'm only going to rank the ones we watched this week because I'm going to trust my prior ranking that I don't remember, especially given that I remember less about the episodes now because my brain is rotting. But in order from best to worst for me personally this week, I think I'm actually going to go Ninth Jedi, The Smuggler, Black, Bird of Paradise for my personal enjoyment levels.
It's a pretty good list. Really very strong season of Visions. Yeah. I think I might like this one overall more than Volume 1. I think Volume 2 was the worst for me personally, but this one was really phenomenal. I really hope we get another volume.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure we will. We definitely. All right.
And I've said before, but I just vastly prefer this over. Not that I wouldn't mind a Star Wars What If, but I vastly prefer that we get this over.
Yeah.
Star Wars What If.
So we are gonna do something that we haven't done in a long time. I have opened up tapcaftransmissions@gmail.com, and we are gonna take a look.
I just got the security alert.
See what's inside. All right. So the first question we have comes from Mike in June of this year, Thursday, June 26th, saying, "Hi, Corey and Trevor. Too soon. Can y'all skip? This is about Legacy of the Force. Can y'all skip these books? I absolutely love reading them as a teen and young adult, but you guys revisiting them and pointing out how dumb they are is really harshing my vibe. I cannot continue in good faith arguing with other nerds online of how great these novels are with your revised viewpoints in my head." So, I think Legacy of the Force is the kind of thing that's like a lot of fun, but also you don't want to think about it too much because then it can start to hurt a little bit. So I can see what you're going for. But
most of the expanded universe is like that. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Our next question comes from Andrew, who is asking, as of Wednesday, 9th of July, do you guys have plans to cover the canon Thrawn trilogy in the near future? I think it would be worth covering before we get more Thrawn in the upcoming shows and movies. I think that's basically our plan. Near future, as of July, depending on near future. No, because we are in November now. But I think the plan is before Ahsoka season 2 or before Heir to the Empire. We'll do the Thrawn treason, Thrawn
Yeah.
alliances.
Yeah. They're good books. I like them. The first one especially is a lot of fun.
And I have read them, but we have not done any of them on
Oh, have
TapCav.
you? I didn't know that. I didn't know you've read them before.
I've read at
I thought
least
you hadn't.
Thrawn and Alliances. I can't remember if I've actually read Treason.
Okay.
Or whichever the
Cool.
second one and third. I've read for sure 2.
Okay.
I don't remember if I've read 3. But yeah. You, Andrew. And then our final question comes from Zach asking, this one's much more recent. Sunday, 12th of October. Does Mark Thompson do a Jar Jar voice at any point? That would be epic.
I'm sure he does. I'm trying to think of what books he's narrated that have Jar Jar in them. Because I guess he did Aftermath and Jar Jar's in that. So, I mean, just briefly during one of the interludes. I don't think Jar Jar actually talks during those interludes, though. That's a good question. I'll look into that. For those who don't know, Mark Thompson is like the big Star Wars audiobook narrator now. He's really phenomenal. I would have actually. I'm 100% serious when I say this. I would have chosen when they were choosing Thrawn's voice actor for Star Wars Rebels. I wanted them to go with Mark Thompson. He's that good. Um, and one thing that's kind of unfortunate is that, I mean, it's not unfortunate because he still does a great job. But after Mickelson started, he changed his Thrawn to be more like him, which is fine. But yeah, he's phenomenal. He does a really really good Han. He does a really good Lando. His Leia, surprisingly good.
I should
yeah.
listen to a Star Wars audiobook someday.
That would be a fun episode. Yeah, we should do that. Maybe Heir to the Empire.
Yeah, maybe if we redo the Thrawn trilogy, maybe I'll audiobook it.
Yeah, they're great. They're really fun. Like some books. So I'm listening to for Legacy of the Force. I've been listening to those, but not the. I'm listening to the ones done for. I think they were done for blind people.
Mm-hmm.
So the narrator still does different voices and stuff, but like when you listen to a modern Star Wars audiobook, they've got full sound effects. If someone's shooting a blaster, they usually have blasters in the background, and they work the music in and stuff. So Lost Stars has a good audiobook too.
All right. Well, those are our questions for the week. We'll try to fit in. Like I'll check the emails. I'll upload the episodes on time. So if you want to get a question in an upcoming episode, if you have any questions you would like to get in about Legacy of the Force as a whole, we will be finishing with Legacy of the Force Invincible next week. Ilkin should be here. If Ilkin's not here, we'll do something else. Because I want to make sure that Ilkin is there, because he's missed the last 2 or 3, but he has been, like, he read the whole series alongside us, and I want to make sure he's there for the final episode before we venture off into some other books after that. So send those emails to tapcaf_transmissions, no spaces, no periods, no nothing, at gmail.com. TAPCAF transmissions. That's going to do it for us. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Justin, say goodbye to the nice people.
I'll leave some reviews and I'll check on them next time as well. There's a few that I've marked down. Some funny ones as well. Oof.
Okay. I don't want to know. Right. Bye, everyone.